Here in Tule Lake, and we're visiting one of the many camps that the Japanese internment camps that were in the U.S. after the post-bombing of Pearl Harbor. So as you can see, we're at the Tule Lake camp, which was like the biggest of the 10 camps and held, I think, over 18,000 people, and there was like 120,000 people total that were held at these camps.
Located in Northern California, the Tule Lake Internment Camp was the largest of the 10 camps located in the United States. Tule Lake alone held more than 18,000 people, and over 120,000 people were held in these camps across the United States. Most were located on the West Coast because these states had a higher population of Japanese people.
So this is Camp Tule Lake, which is one of the many camps that Japanese were sent to after the attack of Pearl Harbor. And so you might be wondering who was sent here exactly. And so to be sent to these camps, you have to be at least 1/16 Japanese and a Japanese descendant. And 2/3 of the people that were sent to these camps were actually American citizens. So this completely inflicted their rights as American citizens.
The point of these camps was not to kill. The U.S. was imprisoning out of fear after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. There were few deaths because of restraint or poor health.
Okay. In 1942, the Japanese internment camps were opened. Not even 3 months after the attack on Pearl Harbor, President Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066, which was intended to prevent espionage on American soil. These camps ran until about 1946, but on December 7th, 1941, the FBI rounded up at least 1,200 Japanese Americans with no reasoning because people started to panic and worry after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Tule Lake, this exact camp, was opened on May 26, 1942, and was the last camp to close on March 28, 1946. Okay, so in these camps, they tried to resume life as normal as they could because they were taken from their everyday lives and put in these camps together. So when they were taken, they were basically told that they had to leave all their belongings except for what they could carry on their own backs. And when they spent their time at these camps, they would play sports, go to church, get ready like their everyday lives, even though they were living in this place with limited running water, basically no hot water, and they would eat in mess halls together and then would share rooms and stuff. So they made the best out of they could.
The last Japanese internment camp closed in March of 1946. Congress had to issue a formal apology and granted $20,000 as reparations.
Okay, so we actually just learned that those are not Japanese internment camps. They're like German prison camps or something, even though I think they still are Japanese internment camps. So everything we just said might be wrong or it might be right. We don't know. It's up for open-end questions.
This picture my great-grandpa took on his way to school. He was in yearbook, I think, and he had his camera on his neck, and while the Japanese were bombing, he stopped, took a picture, and then went on with his life.
And here's the picture. Okay, so we need a little explanation here. So the first camp that we went to, Camp Tule Lake, was for like
German war prisoners.
German war prisoners. It wasn't for the Japanese. Yeah, okay. So now that that's cleared, now we are headed to Newell, which was actually the Japanese relocation center, which is where we actually wanted to go from the beginning. But we thought that Camp Tule Lake was the Japanese relocation center when it was really for German or Italian soldiers or something like that. So now that that's cleared, we're good. Okay, so you said you're gonna have to explain what these are.
So these are like the cold storage rooms where they like when there's a railroad right there.
So here's the railroad.
They unloaded all like the food and supplies and stuff and then kept them in these like buildings for all the prisoners, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these were like the storage places, and to like paint the picture. Okay. The internment camps were right. Hold on, they're a little bright. The internment camps were right there.
Sunday morning I forgot what it's like to lose a friend. Yesterday, how it seemed so far away, and I've said all I can say. But now it's time I get to go in. But now it's time I get to find my own way, and I leave you lonely. I leave you lonely. Now I'm on the road, knowing not which way to go. Is it yes or is it no? I don't really care. For the golden sun has washed me away, and I've become just another vagabond holding my head. But now it's time I get to go in. But now it's time I get to find my own way, and I leave you lonely. I leave you lonely. All in all, it's a beautiful day.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a zip line. This is the zip line. If we die, I tell my mom I love her.
Supposedly, there are also Italians in the German prisoner of war camp, and they were highly sought after because they were really good cooks.